Millions watch him every day, but today, Lee Gates might not make it out alive. America's most famous TV host strides onto the stage, full of confidence. He smiles, leans into the camera, and shares his favorite truth. Money isn't paper anymore. It's energy, tiny sparks racing through cables faster than the human eye can follow. Then he pauses. Push it too hard, Lee warns, and the whole system blows a tire. Behind him, the screen flashes yesterday's disaster. Ibis Capital lost $800 million in a single day. A news anchor explains it. A high-speed trading computer failed. In minutes, fortunes vanished. Music slams in. Lee breaks into his rock star dance, riding the applause. On stage, everything looks perfect. Behind the scenes, it's already falling apart. Walt Canby, Ibis's billionaire CEO, and today's guest, is missing. No calls, no explanation. The replacement is Diane Lester, Ibis's chief communications officer, polite, controlled, and armed, with talking points. 5 minutes to air, Lee calls his producer, Ron Sprecher. Ron slips something into his hand, a gift from Tony Biscano. Then another problem. The prop team brought a stuffed parrot. Lee wanted a live pigeon. Frustration spikes. Diane checks in, begging Lee to stick to the script. Patty, in the control room, smooths it over. "We don't do gotcha stories," she says. "Almost no journalism at all." Final checks. Lee storms back on stage, dancing and shouting as the Money Monster theme blares. Then his tone shifts. Ibis Clear Capital is down again. Then the atmosphere changes. The camera catches a man on the studio floor. He looks like a delivery guy. Lee notices. So does the control room. Lee keeps talking.
"If you panicked here, you would have sold at 20."
But his eyes never leave the stranger.
You got delivery?
"You got a delivery?" he asks casually. "Don't move," the man says, calm and cold, pulling out a gun. The studio erupts. Patty screams to cut the feed. "No," the gunman says. "Cameras stay on."
"Turn those cameras back on!"
He presses the gun to Lee's head. No tricks, no switching monitors, just stay live. He streams on his phone to prove it. Outside, security floods in. The network finally understands this isn't a stunt. Money Monster is now a hostage situation, broadcast live to the world. Then it gets worse. The gunman forces Lee to choose between two black boxes. Lee opens it. Inside is a bomb vest. He's ordered to put it on. The man explains it gently. He controls the trigger. If his thumb lifts, everyone dies. No bluff, no backup. Shaking, Lee straps it on. Outside, police and bomb squads swarm. Online, headlines explode. Lee Gates taken hostage, live on air. Back inside, the gunman takes the stage. He doesn't call himself a criminal. He's here for the truth about corruption and the people who move money. Then he names his target, Ibis Capital. He turns to Lee. 4 weeks ago, Lee promoted Ibis as safe and bulletproof. Lee shrugs it off as showmanship. The gunman doesn't care. He demands a replay of the tape. Lee smiles, selling the lie. "How much are you into Ibis for?" Lee asks. 60 grand. Lee offers to make him whole. Cash, right now. Not enough. The man wants more. He refuses to be bought. Then he delivers the truth that freezes the room. He walked in knowing he wouldn't walk out alive. This isn't about money. It's about forcing the truth into the open. Outside, police identify him. Kyle Budwell. No criminal record, no violent past. Just a regular guy who believed what he was told until he lost everything. To keep his thumb steady, Patty whispers to Lee to say whatever he wants. Kyle snatches the talking points and scans them. Lee starts again, out of habit. It was a computer glitch. Kyle snaps, "Glitch." The word cuts deep. Not an explanation, just a way to dodge responsibility. Kyle wants answers. How does a system lose $800 million overnight? Who approved it? Why does no one explain it? Lee deflects. He's just a guy on TV. Kyle refuses to let it slide. Today, no one passes the buck. Inside the studio, the NYPD tries to patch in negotiator Oscar Nelson. But Kyle came to talk to two people, Lee Gates and Walt Canby. No police, no tactics. If anyone else speaks, someone dies. Lee jumps in. Walt was supposed to be here. It's his company, his crash, and if anyone owes answers, it's him. But Walt is gone. No signal, no location. Backstage, Patty scrambles. Diane dodges calls. The network digs into Ibis, calling anyone who might know something real. Patty snaps back. Kyle just wants to be seen. This isn't a robbery, but a broadcast. So Lee does the only thing he knows how to do. He hosts. Police secure warrants and tactical teams map the studio. Diane tries to go downstairs, insisting Kyle just wants answers. Avery, a top executive, blocks her. Inside the studio, bomb experts confirm the worst. Kyle's vest has a dead man switch. If he dies without disabling it, the studio explodes. There's only one hope. A receiver sits near Lee's kidney. One perfect shot, immediate help. Maybe Lee survives. Despite Avery's resistance, Diane ends up addressing the crisis on air. Lee brings Diane Lester onto the screen. She opens with corporate sympathy and offers to reimburse Kyle's losses. Kyle shuts it down instantly. Too late, he wants facts. Diane hesitates, then admits it. Lee presses, "Where are the programmers? Where's the math that lost $800 million? Diane freezes. They're not here. The room darkens. Kyle fires. A monitor explodes. Patty says what everyone is thinking. Money doesn't just disappear. Diane sharpens her focus. She orders payroll records for every employee since Ibis went public. On the studio floor, Lee makes a reckless move. Millions watch. Live on air. He upgrades Ibis stock from sell to a rare triple buy. Not to get rich, but to stay alive. Lee says they can turn a bad investment into a win if they hold the line. The stock twitches, then it rises. Kyle watches, stunned. For a moment, it almost works. Then the climb stops. Police deliver new information. Kyle has a pregnant girlfriend. Her name is Molly. Then something unexpected happens. Molly appears on the screen. Kyle freezes. She unloads everything. The money, the recklessness, the humiliation. Every word cuts deep. Chaos erupts as she's dragged off camera. When she's gone, Kyle shakes. He can barely breathe. Behind the scenes, Diane finally reaches the man who built the algorithm. He's stunned. Losing $800 million in one afternoon is impossible. Humans caused this. Meanwhile, Walt Canby lands. As Diane helps him settle in, she checks his bag and diary. The clues align. Back in the studio, Patty learns the police plan to shoot Lee. She whispers the truth. The receiver sits near his kidney. One clean shot disables the trigger. Lee lunges as the shot fires. Kyle goes down. Lee doesn't hesitate. Walt Canby has been found. If Kyle trusts him, Lee will take him there. They walk into the streets together. Police surround them. Helicopters thunder overhead, and crowds roar. As they move, the final piece clicks into place. Ron Sprecher returns from the SEC with a critical clue. Ibis trades in dark pools. On the crash day, trading didn't spike, it collapsed.
Ibis is a pig in a prom dress, Lee.
Got it.
The money wasn't lost, it was stolen. Kyle drops his own bomb. The vest isn't real, no explosives, just clay.
There's not actually any Semtex in there, it's just clay.
He never planned to hurt anyone. He only wanted to be heard. At Federal Hall, cameras roll as Walt arrives. Lee lays it out. Dates, records, names. Walt calls it a glitch. Lee corrects him. This is fraud. Walt funneled $800 million into South African platinum mines, betting a strike would crash prices. He tried to bribe Moshe Mambo. Mambo refused, and the plan collapsed. Walt denies it until Lee puts the proof on live television. Kyle steps forward, gun raised. Seconds pass. Walt breaks.
It was wrong.
That's all Kyle ever wanted.
That's all I wanted to hear, man.
Then the final shock hits. Kyle pretends to pull the trigger, and the police open fire. Kyle Budwell dies instantly. Walt Canby faces federal charges. The truth is public, but the cost can never be undone. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible movie recaps.